Holger here from Moving North, and now I have arrived in Catherine, and I was just checking on part 2 of thoughts or tips for the solo travelers across Australia, and that was before the last leg, I'd say, or maybe right after I left Tennant Creek, from Tennant Creek to Catherine. And that last leg really was taking a lot out of me. So I said, it doesn't matter what car you have. And up to that point, when I said it, it was very true. However, when the storms, when the rain comes down, which is January up to, I don't know, whenever, June, it would have been nice to have a four-wheel drive, a little bit of a higher elevated car, because I was swimming. I was fighting and struggling with my car. We both together. I tell you, and I couldn't see the road. The good thing is it is sometimes over in about 5-10 minutes, but those 10 minutes cost you a day of your life, I'd say. And I felt the other cars around me were a little bit more solid on the ground there. So yeah, that was. So if you do have a little bit of elevation there, that will be really good, and good tires, really. Couple of times, one time that was quite funny. You know how you get those reflections when it's hot, far away, it looks like there's water on the road. It never is, of course, because of the moisture and the reflection, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, same thing. And before I knew it, there was water on the road, and gosh, I was 120, 130, or maybe slower, luckily, but we were swimming. There was no contact with the ground, with the street, a couple of moments. That's number one. Number two, also there was a situation, there was a diversion, there was some roadworks. Didn't think much of it until that deviation had water on the road, and luckily it didn't go on for a long stretch. But again, I realized that car, in case of diversions and roadworks, then you're stuck. And my mum told me, who went to Catherine 20 years ago, that the bus couldn't even reach Catherine. They had to do a detour. It can be really severe. I just slowed down, of course, took the cruise control out, which you do when you have rain on the road. And then, took my hazard lights on, and slowed down and had my fog lights, whatever lights I had available, because it was so thick, that rain, and a couple of times, and in Catherine as well. So that was a bit of a struggle. Number two, what I realized, the toughest stretch, Tennant Creek to Catherine, is that the road goes through forest. And I did see a lot of roadkill. Suddenly it dawned on me, you can't trust anything to just stay off the road. The forest reaches up to the road, and it was overcast, and I'm not sure about wallabies and kangaroos or whatever, whether they do come during daytime when it's overcast and cooler. I do know they like dusk and dawn, but yeah, I saw fresh roadkill, I'd say. So I was sweating there a little bit too. What if, The most comfortable speed I felt was 100, really. And it gave me a lot of time to look around, to react. And one reaction, I believe, saved an eagle's life. So here up this area, you see birds that are just so much bigger, you know. Even the mudlarks are really the size of crows, which is quite funny. But you see those kites, falcons, hawks, and at times you see eagles, massive eagles. Of course, you try to take a photo, but by that time you got out of your car, they're gone. However, that one time, as I didn't feel comfortable 130, because I was getting impatient, as you do, and then even you want to push it 135, never felt really at ease. It's not the open road as all the way up to Tennant Creek, but there the speed limit is 110, so you can't do 140, unless you want to break the law. But here you could go 130, which is a bit weird. Yet the density of the forest and the proximity really invites wildlife to cross anytime they like, and cattle as well. So cows standing under the tree next to you, and you don't really know what they're up to. I think I mentioned that before. However, so I was going 100, and I saw in the middle of the road this kind of a big lump from afar, and something. And the closer I got, it was a bird. And I first thought, well, maybe a hawk or something, feasting on an animal. But it was an eagle, beautiful creature. And I would have loved to video it. And I think my dash cam would have it. Maybe I should search it. However, I approached it with 100, and the bird saw me, but it took a long time for it to take off because it's so heavy and big. I'm very, very sure that if I had done 130, 140, that would have been it for the bird, and maybe for me as well. So yeah, 100 is a nice speed to travel through and to be safe. And in that regard, again, daylight travel, it's so much nicer, so much safer, and so much better. Yeah, those are the tips for part 3. Over and out, and welcome to Catherine.